Good morning, everybody. This is Black Spring with Autumn here. I am just doing this is a test here again. It's a test, but I'm going to try to get this in and see what the reception is like, not just in terms of audio or even in terms of content. I need to be able to see what both things are like. So, and this is of course another software, if you will. So let's see here. So we're looking at there's going to be apparently there's Starbucks is making plans to close cafes as well as, I mean, layoffs and cafe closings are on the horizon for Starbucks. So if you can see, I don't know, this is I'm completely. This is a test, I guess, for all intents and purposes, because I am going to be adding some things to this, but just to see how it goes. Um, let's see. I thought I had already done this, but we'll see. Okay, so hang tight here. If you're with me, just I think I can see. It looks like I can see. I've got some coverage here, um, so I'm going to try to add something here. Let me know what you can see. I'm going to check in with the chat in just a second. So I just thought I'd, give you the little, not necessarily a softball, but the economy matters. Let's see. So yeah, everybody wants to reimagine their brand, or I guess maybe it would be no different for me, in this world that we're in. So hang on just a second. So just let me know what you see, and yeah, we're gonna see. So yeah, I'm just okay. Let's see who's in the chat. Live stream chat. Ah, Samoan, you're here. Let me know, how are you this morning? Thank you so much for coming in. I am this software is what I'm trying to see. Is what I'm trying to see what's working. Excellent, Gary. 5 by 5, perfect. So what are you guys seeing right now? Are you guys able to see this liner above me, or are you seeing just the liner, or I don't know? Just tell me what you see. I mean, I need to let me try to figure this out here. It's just kind of a test here. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up stopping this, and I'll probably come back. Probably stop it, and then I'll end up coming back. So yeah, this is just kind of a test here. I was just talking about the Starbucks closings and that Starbucks taking a significant action to turn. This is from CNN, to turn around in its struggling business, closing a large number of cafes and announcing a second round of layoffs at its headquarters as part of CEO Brian Nichols' efforts to resuscitate the troubled chain. I'm just thinking the price point is probably, I haven't been to Starbucks in a long time. Give me a two, a one if you've been to Starbucks in a while. Okay, thank you, Samoan. Thank you. As I'm saying, I'm trying to. I'm just testing. I'm trying to test this out because I like to bring some extra things in here. So I'm just trying to see what's going on there. It says you're very small, but the page is large. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So that's important. So we can change. Okay, look at my comments are coming up. Okay, perfect. He said you spend too much at Starbucks. Let's see. Let's see, what can I do here? I guess I can change this layout, speaker split here. Okay, so let me know with what goes on this time. Okay, looks like it's a little bit backed up. You're very small, but the page is large. Okay, so I will work on that. I will work on that. I'll clean it up. Okay, I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, I'm just like I said, man, I don't mean to break the news, like as in literally break the news itself, but let me just keep going here. Okay, so let me look. All right, so uh, Nicole announced it Thursday that Starbucks will close hundreds of stores this month, or about 1% of its locations. The company had 18,734 North American locations at the end of June, and the company said it will end September with 18,300 stores. The company expects its restructuring efforts will cost $1 billion. Shares of Starbucks with the tag SBUX were flat in the pre market trading. In a letter to employees, Nicole said the company underwent a review of its footprint and locations that will close were ones that will close were ones quote unable to create the physical environment our customers and partners expect or where we don't see a path to financial performance. Starbucks often closes locations for a variety of reasons, including underperformance, but Nicole said that larger scale effort is more substantial. Quote, this is a more significant action that we understand will impact partners and customers. Our coffee houses are centers of community, and closing any location is difficult, end quote, he said. Despite hundreds of closures, which will take place before the end of the company's fiscal year next week, Starbucks said it will return to growth mode and also plans to remodel more than 1,000 locations. The new look for Starbucks features a cozy chair. That's awkward. More power outlets and warmer colors. In addition to the store closures, Starbucks announced an additional 900 corporate layoffs, and on top of the roughly 1,000 layoffs in February, affected employees will be notified Friday and will receive, quote, a generous severance and support package. Generous will receive generous severance and support packages, end quote. Also, many open positions will be closed, he announced. Quote, I know these decisions impact our partners and their families, and we did not make them lightly, end quote, Nicole wrote. Quote, I believe these steps are necessary to build a better, stronger, and more resilient Starbucks that deepens its impact on the world and creates more opportunities for our partners, suppliers, and communities we serve. Yeah, I let's see. Well, I don't know. Simone, you said you spend a lot of money at Starbucks. A lot of people do. And I mean, Starbucks, I think I'm not sure. I just think like many things, the trend of that, I think people can find they can find other alternatives. I mean, there's the market just was, I think, oversaturated maybe. I'm not economics is not my domain of competence, but I just find that there's so many Starbucks in certain areas that, it's oversaturated. I don't really think people are using Starbucks so much, even business people. With I think also with the cultural shift that occurred with people working from home, that I'm pretty sure that did not help the businessman that goes to Starbucks and buys a latte and a Danish and sits there for hours and works. I'm sure that probably undercut some of the attractiveness there. So let's go on here. 1 year on, Nicole joined Starbucks a year ago, hoping to revive the storied coffee chain. However, the financial results haven't come to fruition, with the stock down about 12% and sales haven't turned around. He's pared back the menu by about 30%, while also introduced new items to keep the brand on trend, like protein toppings and coconut water. Food is also getting a revamp with new croissants and baked goods being rolled out. Let's see. In addition to remodels, smaller touches have been integrated, like bringing back self serve milk and sugar stations, as well as doodles on coffee cups. The company also tweaked its name to Starbucks Coffee Company to reinforce its coffee roots. However, his changes have butted heads with some baristas, including uniform changes that sparked lawsuit, and some new drinks are causing stress for baristas for being overcomplicated to make during peak times. Wow. Let's come back. What do you guys think about that? I appreciate it. You know, your loyalty and your patience and your support and your willingness to collaborate is greatly appreciated. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let me read the comments now. It says, as ambulatory driver, I take advantage of their cleaner bathrooms, so I'm forced to buy their coffee. A slave to Starbucks. We have Starbucks every 2 blocks out here. I'm gonna need some lazy boys in there. Let's see. Gary, are you new to the stream? Welcome in. He says, figured something was up. Starbucks coffee is the cheapest coffee in this horse town here in BC, Canada. Are you in British Columbia? Oh my gosh, I haven't been to Canada in a few years now. It would be nice to get back. I will tell you, it's nice to spend a holiday in Canada. I think Banff National Park is just was just magical for me several years ago. But I loved it. I didn't want to leave. It was just, I mean, it was the air was so crisp and clean and just, you know, the people were just, I don't know. It was an amazing experience. Um, let's see. Well, you know what? And I just think many things. I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of the mom and pops. Why would anybody continue to go with Starbucks when they can get when a lot of mom and pop style coffee houses have been able to emerge and come on the scene and produce something equal or better. Let's go here. Yeah, I mean California. I mean I can't. What was it? Pete's Coffee was another one. Like or green leaf, the tea leaf company, or was it the green leaf mountain coffee? Was it caribou coffee? The airports are saturated with, but I know that, you know, I in the foothills area, everywhere, California is definitely not short on Starbucks, and depending also certain areas. Okay, not every single inch, you know, but these certain enclaves of communities have Starbucks, and you know, I live in an armpit town, and but I can appreciate the effort of the mom and pops trying to recreate that, or create their own niche, or you know, maybe they can provide you with a couch, or you know, you know, maybe they'll provide you with a couch that is, it might remind you of the Golden Girls, or you know, I don't know, or it may remind you of the snowbirds from the snowbirds from Michigan coming into Florida to live. But I think it's more about the product now. I think that there's an opportunity if you're going to stay in business, you know, you have to try to maintain that. You know, you have to try to stay in the pocket. You know, um, stay relevant, and I think Starbucks has had a good run. If they, you know, and there's maybe a good opportunity for somebody else. Okay, I'm gonna put these on the street. So I'm still trying to see how this works. I tell you what, let me see. I am let's see. Yeah, it's just yeah, well fun. See, that's the test. I haven't been in Starbucks in so long. I don't even know. I really don't. Let's see. And put these on. So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's all interesting. It's all very interesting. So I'm seeing. See, I don't even get the entire. I guess I need to bump down the font sizes on some of this because I don't even get your guys' names in full, your full screen names right about now. Um, yeah, so I guess hit the like button. I guess. I mean, so yeah, I appreciate it. So I'm just wondering. I guess I'll get to see this in the replay and see how it actually came out. We'll see how it actually came out. um, because I'm trying this. As I started watching through the twins, Uncool, and Miss Mask was well. Thank you so much through this for the support. Because I'm trying to come back to these streets, if you will. Yeah, I'm trying to come back to the streets myself and just figure out exactly how I want to do that. Just yeah, YouTube has been an interesting journey, I could say. Um, yeah, it's been one of those relationships where there's a little bit of stay and a little bit of a conflict. It's like sometimes you need more reasons to, well, do I need to stay or should I go, or is there enough here to hang on to, or is it worth dealing with? You guys have to forgive the I'm doing a banana clip experiment here. Yeah, right on, Samoan. I do too. I just think that there's more of a personal touch, and I think that's also the reason that I enjoy. I think that's why Etsy has such a good, and I think maybe some of these smaller mom and pops would seize this opportunity because I think people want that personal touch. They don't want they don't want auto service. They don't want auto, and they might not even want auto drink recipes anymore. They might want to deal with something that's more innovative or, you know, yeah, but I would say, but to me, I think that should also be a sounding the alarm for also the mom and pops that kind of jumped on that same type of business model. Well, if you can't maintain it or if you can't continue to bring that personal touch, which is what people want anyway, is you might not be able to stay in that business, in that sector of business, because I think it matters. Like for instance, if I order something from Etsy, and I appreciate small businesses, I love to support small businesses. I prefer to support them when I can, especially if the product is good. I appreciate having a small note from the business owner that's just like even a handwritten thank you to the human being goes a long way. And see, there you go, right here, AI. AI is. I mean, I don't know if everybody understands the impact. If we completely lose the human touch, then what happens to humanity? We already live in a world in which the youth, the teenagers, or some people call them Gen Alpha, this Alpha generation, they are completely detached. Um, they are completely detached from disconnected, I think, from whether it be emotion or Popeye's chicken and Wiener schnitzels. So I just think, if we lose the human touch, where are we? Where are we? I mean, I don't really, of course, can AI get the job done? Without no doubt, as they say. But is that really what do you really just want, here's your coffee, zip, zip, here's your coffee and get out of here? But when you go to a mom and pop place, there seems to be a few more smiles. There seems to be that curiosity. If you're not a regular, if you're not a native of that town, they seem to want to, they want to make that connection with you. Oh, who are you? This is your first time in our establishment. Would you like today? Oh, how are the brownies? Or like, I think cheesecake is another thing that, we have a small place here that you think this is a decent set. It's called Riverside. Riverside. Yeah, it's called Riverside, and I'm like, this is my first time streaming on it. This is not my first time streaming on it. This is my first time trying to bring some elements to it. I'm gonna make some changes to my system, my operating system, as well as my system overall. So I'm kind of touch and go right now. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Are you guys tolerating this? It's not really fussy. Right now, it doesn't even have as many. It doesn't even like, for instance, StreamYard is bringing a lot that has a lot of features right now. But this is more, and this has features. A lot has features. But I'm trying to get away from. I think less is more. I really don't want to. I don't want to overproduce. I guess is what I'm saying. I want to be able to disseminate, my streams, but I don't want to overproduce at this point either. I don't. Um, Especially with the ROI, with the changes in here again, staying relevant and not becoming obsolete in the social media world. I mean, you can put in a ton of money, invest a lot into a lot of bells and whistles, and then you're not getting you're not getting the the return on the investment. It makes a lot for overhead, and um, I don't even know. Like, I've not been chasing. I never really came in chasing YouTube for the partnership, but I need to see something coming back going forward. Even no matter what I do, I need to see that I'm not over investing as well. Let's put this on. It says, I'm a former customer service worker. It's my pet peeve when people aren't good at it. I can't spell by the way. That's okay. Hey, you're stay on it. Stay on it. Stay on it. Um, and I think I'm gonna be honest. Was that your question, Samoa? Um, I think there's a lot of intelligence. There's some AI in here, which kind of helps. Even though I have some issues right now going on with my system, I think the AI is actually making the adjustments to keep the stream or to keep things where they are. Um, it's trying, to preserve um, quality and all of that, which is fun. It's nice, but I'm gonna remedy that. But I'm just saying, there's some features here. There's some features here that I don't even know about yet. But like I said, I'm just kind of getting my feet wet right now, coming back here, um, because I'd like to add some level of consistency back to this. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me read this comment, because actually this thing gets to show. It'll show for 10 seconds, which is, kind of amazing tracking. Thank you so much, the Simone Watchman. It says, I also hate how companies go overseas for customer service just to people who can't speak our language or have any empowerment to make any change at all, except for a kick the can higher in the management. It says, by the way, Restream customer service is the worst. Restream, is that software? No, hey, note to self. And then around here, I'm bringing post-its back. I'm bringing post-its back, or I'm bringing note cards back. Oh gosh. So yeah, so we write that down. Restream. Telecommunications is, you know, you never know what you're gonna get. So, but yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. But yeah, so Starbucks, I think, I don't know how much franchise franchise, how much, what the percentage of their businesses are franchised. But I think, Subway for one, to me, the minute they start, the more franchises that they had, that were possible, I think the worse the product got and the worse the service. The service got worse, worse. Service got worse. It is StreamYard. It is StreamYard's biggest competitor. They were good at first. They double charged me. Then I did. Then I asked, did I have to be refunded? All this is, I'm free to cancel the service. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I haven't fully restored my. I'm not restored in confidence with StreamYard right now because their price point. What is it up like about 300% that they have? They're about 300% charging. They've charged up about 300%. But I get it. They have also added more. They've all added more bells and whistles. But like I said, there's got to be something out here for. There's got to be something out here, a price point for everybody. Thank you, Gary, and same to you. God bless. We'll see you later. Thank you for coming in, and I look forward to seeing you around again. Thank you for the support. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, it's nice that you guys came in and are enduring. You guys are enduring right now on my stream, and I'm just trying to see if Riverside is going to be if Riverside is going to be a good alternative, an alternative that I can work with, okay, or an alternative that I can grow into. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate it. So there's some other things I want to get into, but I just wanted to see how this went. Um, these assaults, these ice assaults, I know that there's some things I'm probably going to come back later. I may try to come back later and cover more. Um, oh my gosh, that's where I started, Samoan. My system right now is incomplete. I think it needs to be it. I'm gonna get another system is what I'm gonna do. So, yeah, I enjoyed OBS when I had it at the beginning, but it seems like something started happening with OBS, and I can't get it to work with OBS. Um, but yeah, but OBS is where I started. Is what the system that I started the program that I was using in 2018. 2018 I was all 2018 2019, um probably up until early 2020 I was on OBS for about 2.5 3 years. And then it's like the system, my system, and that system is probably the computer itself. Yeah, I mean, and then I also, for professional reasons, I have to get a different PC. Like, I mean, I needed to, for my other my other career, I need to get I have to have a more powerful PC. And yeah, I need a lot of I need a lot of power and a lot of speed. And just, this is, yeah, an entirely different system is what I'm gonna have to get. So I'm sure that's gonna work out. I think a lot of issues will go away, and I may very well be able to go back to OBS once I have a new system in place, an entire new system. So yeah, but it's, hey, they're expensive. I mean, what I need is not, it's not a cheap, it's not cheap to maintain systems. And you have to deal with obsolescence of systems and upgrades and all of that. So, but it'll be yeah, I'm a Mac person, so it'll be another Mac. Um, I've been presented with some options, but I just need the best system that I can get, the best system for that fits my purposes, and fits my career ambitions, and for the power I need it. And I'm sure it'll help. This will be great. This will be a lot better and a lot easier to use. I can use whatever I want, because I preferred OBS. Um, but I had some limitations from the start, because for the same reason, you kind of learn. you kind of learn what you need based on sorry about that. You kind of learn what you need as you go, and sometimes you don't know what you need until you need it. So, but yeah, my professor, in both my worlds, both professional worlds, I my professor told me wanted to know what system are you working on, and I mean we talked about that, and it's something I'm still going to remedy. I mean he's got fantastic systems, and I'll probably consult with him for a new system as well, not just for professional reasons, but also for YouTube reasons. I mean, I'm sure if it's powerful enough to do graphics, then it'll be powerful enough to handle YouTube streams. So, yeah, yep, I appreciate it. So, let me see. I don't know if I want to try to crank out anything else because I am in complete experiment mode. And you've been most generous and patient. So, let's see. Or I may just come back later because I definitely want to get into something. I want to get into what Trump is saying about these Donald Trump's vaccine statements. He says the vaccine statements that shocked the world. Like honestly, just Charlie, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I am I'm gonna wrap this stream up, but when I come back, I want to talk about. It just seems like there's a lot of speaking with forked tongues and double speaking with. Like I said, there's nothing new under the sun because it looks like a lot of this looks like the previous. Um, I think some of the rhetoric is very similar to the first term for Trump, but then the statements when okay another thing I never did cover that tech meeting that he had with the big wheels because you had Lord Gates in the place, you had Zuckerberg, and to me it was like a covenant. It was a technology alliance, or this is you know thank you so much, Charlie. I appreciate you so much for coming in. So I never got to talk about that, and I think that's an important piece. And like I was saying yesterday in my morning stream, I think we're gonna see some of those same players from 2019. They're gonna reemerge on the scene going forward. They're definitely they're Gates is gonna have a place. I think whether the MAGAs or the conservatives or the right, whatever you want to call yourself or coin yourself, they're going to see a lot of these people are coming back onto the scene, and I think they could very well be, you know and maybe even if RFK Jr. doesn't work out, that might be the opening. I'm telling you. The snake is back. I'm telling you, whatever listen, if you're new to this channel, and you're not, you gotta recognize a lot of this is to me, this is a time of deception, and a lot of things that were manifested in 2019 and on, I'd say from 2017 and on 20, it's manifesting right now. So to me, and it's just a cycle. It'll be no other. They like to refer to people as conspiracy theorists, but the only thing about it is that we recognize that these things are going on before we disagree with what's going on before it actually happens. So they have to thwart any credibility for anybody that has any type of discernment or any type of say, hey, this doesn't line up with that. Oh, but I can only say it. It doesn't line. What? You can't say that. What? You can't say that until they say you can say it. And so I'm saying we're back in the mocktail world. We called it that. As I say, shout out to the class of CV19. We're back into that realm. Vaccines are not going away, friends. It is not. I do think there's a lot of division. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm beginning to wonder at times, how united are we? I don't even know if I subscribe to that anymore. We can't be. We how I mean from the be I mean how united can could we have been with the amount of deception that's going on or that's been going on? I just don't see. There's no absolutes. See, Charlie says, "Yep, conspiracies feel more like insight now." Come on, come on, come on. I love it. Yes, you can't. Yeah, that. Yeah, bring it, bring it. Yeah, whatever and you know, some people won't. They won't say it. They won't say it. Oh, then they go. Oh, well, now I think this person may have been on to something. But yeah, I'm just thinking that we're not done with vaccines. This country's not done with vaccines. But I'm also, and this, I'm going off topic here. I'm just thinking that the amount of conflict. We have a lot of external conflicts that are going on in this country. Chicago, all the protest and the shooting and all these things that are going on at some of these detention facilities. I'm just thinking, at what point does this actually come out? So Bowen, come on with it, bring it, bring it. Um, at what point of it? It's like we're on the verge of a civil war, a world war. I'm telling you, it's just a lot. A lot is going on. A lot, and it's just like these little enclaves of conflict everywhere. I mean, the idea of civil war, is it gonna look? Is it gonna look like? What is it gonna? Is it gonna be a textbook definition? I mean, the concept of civil war in itself is an oxymoron. Civil and war. That's an oxymoron. The word oxymoron is oxymoronic itself. So if we have civil people, then we have people that warring people. Then what? There you talk. You see what I'm saying? Language matters. The words matter. Words matter because there's constant conflict going on. I'm just thinking at some point, or whether it be ICE or whether you're deploying guard into the streets, at some point are these soldiers going to be commanded to fire onto the actual people of this country? That is where I see that's when the rubber's going to meet the road. That's where the rubber is going to meet the road. And then what? Well, all the illusions and all the oaths that this brotherhood took an oath. Oh, you took an oath as a police officer that you wouldn't do. Oh, you took an oath as a soldier not to do this. That's all. It's going to be all out the window. Then I'm thinking we're so close to that even a civil war is not even going to be what this is going to look like. It's not going to look like a textbook civil war. It's not. It's going to be even more It's going to be even more oxymoronic than that. I truly believe that from all the things that I'm seeing. Oh, this is the leftist person that's firing on this person. All it'll take, all it's like they need somebody to kick this thing off. They need somebody to kick it off. It doesn't really, and at that point, it's not going to matter whether you're on the red team or the blue team. At that point, it will not matter. Because to me, at that point, it's not even going to be civil war anymore. It'll be in theory, it'll be maybe in theory, but it won't be, because at that point there's been so much illusion and so deception. You don't even know. You don't have the red coats and the blue. You're not going to have a red coat and a blue coat. You're not. Your influences might have been flying under the auspices of that, but you're not going to be able to see it if it gets to the streets. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see a red coat and a blue coat. Charlie says rename it political war, but I think that's what they want. I think they want if they keep injecting enough in. And to me, this whole red team blue thing, it's more divisive than anything. But when there's actually no pure red team, there's no pure blue team. I mean, these people are in DC having a beer after work, or they're going to each other's bridal showers or baby showers. That's what they're doing, and it's the WWE. I said it, or the WWF in real life. That's what it is. That's actually exactly what it is. But if they can get you and I to go out in the streets, and the if they can get you to do it. See, Simone says, was that the memorial? Was that memorial just another? Well, and see that I'm telling you, Samoa, now you're on to something. I'm telling you that memorial. I'm telling you the way the invocation. I talked about that the other day, a few days ago. I talked about these memorials and these rituals, and how they get so close to the line. I'm like, are we worshiping him? Are we worshiping this person, or are we worshiping? Are you? Who are you talking about here? You first you give us the literal scenario of what happened to the late Kirk, but then you cadence with a scripture. That is to me that's manipulation, because we know the best readers and writers and the best rhetoric comes from those who can manipulate any piece of writing, whether it be poetic forms from the Bible. We know, but hey, at this point, it's a vessel for political gain now. It's not even done with any kind of respect. I mean, I'm just thinking we should not idolize and put anybody. If are you really putting people that close? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, discernment. Since they were cutting promos. But yeah, but I just, I saw a couple of, I watched some of the speeches. I heard Carlson speak, and I heard Trump say that that religion needed to be brought back, and then what was it? Tucker Carlson talked about, something else is coming, and they know exactly what it is. They know what they're doing. And that's another thing. I think somebody said this. I don't know where it came from. It's not mine, but I'm convinced that that person was honest. And I think these people. I'm going to say this. This part was not theirs. I'm saying these people must all be trained in the rhetoric of the greats. I mean, of the classics, like the Plato's and the Aristotles, and they know. They're trained, and they're speech writers. They're whoever sponsors them. They are trained to inject what they put out, and it's powerful. And I'm going to say, yeah, do I think something's powerful? But a lot of people have a lot of decodes. Ooh, these zealous decoders are hot on the trail of Erica Kirk. Hot. I mean, I haven't seen hand signals and all of that, and but I'm saying here again, the thing about American politics is that it's like a soap opera. You can step out of it if you got those profiles down, if you know the type of conflicts, the type of the motivations from either side, if you will, you can step out of the ring for a little while and come back in and still be on time. I'm just saying. Subito, you can come in, you can give time and you can take time back. As long as you come back in on time, you will never be out of step. He said, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like it's a show. They think it's politics, but they don't know it's a show. But it's a great enough show. There's enough injection from the media, from companies and the entertainers to set off something that looks like a civil war, but it's not going to be. That's all they need, or to force to force the hand of, to force the evil to get the result that they want. And they've been wanting it for a while. And I think a lot of things, there's a lot of, dare I say, a lot of things are obsolete. Because I think, I mean, I don't know exactly what Carlson was alluding to, but yeah, I do think something's coming. And I've been saying it for a while. I mean, I thought that earlier this year. It's just the environment. The environment is, it's not, it's, it's too, it's too stagnant right now. You know, like kind of like the air. I don't know if people will call it like stale air or stagnant air. Even though it's stagnant, it's very intoxicating. Even though your air can be stagnant, it can be very intoxicating. So I'm just saying it's very, there's still a lot of impact when you have stale air. So I think our air is too thick, it's too stale right now. So they got to cut it. They're getting ready to cut it with something. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not saying I'm prophetic by any stretch, but I'm saying they got to cut this because it's too stagnant. Let's see. Let's see. We got more people in the streams at 16. Here again, I'm still going through it. I hope I'm not missing anybody's comments here. You said the dramatic music. Yes, because there again, they know how to use the air to influence people. They know how to influence, they know how to draw you in. Okay? They know how to bring you to the edge. And that's what I'm talking about. This stale air that I'm speaking about, I'm thinking that they know how to, you got to inject enough tension and enough interest at the same things until eventually something has to give. Something has to give. I think some people are thinking it's going to be financial. Um, NWO. I think we've been in the NWO for a long time. I think it's not, oh, we're not going to get in, you're not going to get an all points bulletin one day that says, oh, we officially stepped into the NWO. It's just not so. It's just not so. Okay. And, I don't think anybody here is completely naive, but I just think you just need to watch. You just just look at it. Just look at it. And I'm just saying at this point, I don't think that they're going for an effect anymore. I don't think they're going for an effect anymore. I think there's real damage. The intent to me is, you know, the point of no return. You won't be going back. There you go. You're on it. Say, you're on it, Samoan. So, and that's what I'm watching. Like I said, all these protests and the firing and firing and the shootings that's going on. Let's see, Chicago is absolutely hot. I mean, shout out to Mr. Pearson. He was actually out there last night in Chicago. He's on the ground, and I'm just thinking, he can barely. It's like, with whatever they're firing in the air, it's not good for. I'm sure it's not good to be covering that. Even for content. But see, they're not going to bring that. The thing about YouTube, the beauty of YouTube, um, from my experience is that's you get to see that coverage that's not being done, that's not being brokered by the mainstream, that's not being filtered by the mainstream. When you get real content creators that are actually on the grounds of these things and they're going into these dangerous situations or potential harmful situations. But and there again, I say, it's not. Is it worth it? I don't know. It depends on what your values are or what speaks to you. But I mean, I can't say that I don't appreciate it. But you're not going to see your Tucker Carlsons. You're not going to see your Anderson Coopers out there, or they're not. You've got little war here again. You got these little enclaves of conflict and war going on right now in the United States. You really don't have to go. Because I've seen the chats and a lot of people say, this is going on in the United States. Yes. You have little conflicts going on. And you might think you very well mistake it for something that's going on in Eastern Europe. Or I'm telling you, it's just, and that's what I'm saying. whatever the definition of war and civil war, it's not going to look like whatever that type of war. It's not going to be. It's not going to be fought in that way, in that manner. It's already happening. There's already psychological civil wars going on. There's already because of the amount of deception and the amount of imageries that are injected into our everyday entertainment or social media, and then what the mainstream puts out, and then what the media, these entertainers put out, what the late night shows and all of these people, and it's just not gonna fit in something that looks like this. We're beyond that. I think that's a part of, like, I think we're in the new country right now. And I usually, when I say the old country, if I'm referring to, I actually prefer, I enjoy the old country in Italy. I think that place is, you know, I don't know to the people in the area. I never did ask them, but I'm pretty sure. I think it's still run. In the old country of Italy, it's in, like, in the Amalfi Coast. They're still living their lives the way they did. I mean, your baker, your butcher, your grocer, that is their profession. You go there, they walk to everything. The butchers, he cuts everything exactly the way you want, and he has done that for years. His father did that. There's multiple generations living in the same household. They might be running the hotel and the restaurant, two or three generations of family running their business. But here, we're the old country for us is very much Americanized. But the new country for us is the part that doesn't make sense to me. It's the part that no, well, that doesn't fit. Well, you might want to stop trying to fit the circle into the square peg into the circle right now, because it's not going to fit. And that's why I'm telling you that the vaccines and all the things that showed up that were manifested in 2019, they're not going away. They're here to stay. They put them out in the airwaves, and they're here to stay. Is it going to be used? How it's going to be used? You'll just wait and see. Hurry up and wait. But it's there. Okay, the groundwork has already been laid for it, and we're not going. And I can, and I have said this many times, and I still believe we're not going back to pre 2020. There was a shift, a cultural shift. You may call it a new world shift, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you, whatever connotation that you need to get you through this time. Latch on right now. Figure it out. I don't know. I've even in literature, the books on futurism, the books, the dystopian, it's all, we're in it right. I think we're in the thick of it right now. And in a few years, I'm saying to myself, we already don't recognize, we don't recognize a lot of things, because the major shift has already happened. It's now at this point, I just think it's a matter of is installation is where we are right now. So once again, I appreciate you guys for burning testavertying with me. Testavertying with me for a whopping 51 minutes and 46 seconds. I mean, but my plan is to come back later today, because I do want to talk about these statements. I do want to talk about the juxtaposition of vaccines, maybe from the old world to the new shifted to the new country. Maybe I won't call it new world. I'll call it the new country versus the old country, because I definitely think it's, yeah, you got to you need to put that on the shelf. You know, give it a rack, give it a rack of its own, and take and pull it off as you need it, just kind of like a dictionary or those encyclopedias. Just put it on there and pull it off whenever you need it. But right now, you got to stay focused so you don't miss anything. You got to do that. All right, guys, I appreciate everything, and I'm probably going to come back. That's the goal. It's likely because I think that's just a little this whole thing on the mocktails and all that, and then the tech. I would almost like to combine a stream on that technology. I want to combine something about that technology, that tech dinner that he hosted at the White House, and I don't know, something about that meeting kind of reminded me of, I don't know, I don't want to be blasphemous by any stretch, but it's almost like well, I mean, this is looking like the last, something about this screams, I don't know, my people that are in the word, check it. It screams the Last Supper. Something is something, because you got, and I'll talk about the G Lord Gates and all that. I'll talk about him, his statements, and I mean, because he came right out. He came right out of the gate saying that giving you basically what his objective is, and he likened it to COVID-19. He likened it to that. He said, psh, he was very straightforward. He did not play around with it. He came out and said, you know, I'll talk about that too. His language, you have to pay. That's what I'm saying. I love languages. But all right, guys, you guys have a great rest of the day. I'm gonna figure out I'm gonna get it done. Yeah, Charlie, same to you. Yeah, I need to do that. I think I've got some Colombian coffee in there. Um, I can't even remember what happened. I had some Colombian coffee that I got out of Colombia, and I don't even remember what happened to the rest of it. But I have some now that's, of course, I think it's made in the U.S. But I'll find something in there and uh, and just try to take it easy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's a combination of the things, the technology and this combo right here, the jab and the kids, the technology and the jab and the kids. I think it's a powerful combination. I think it's almost wiping off. It's almost an eraser. Um, and yeah, so we'll get into some other things. I'm just thinking also, just the short. You notice how even YouTube started promoting. I know I'm digressing for a second here, but I noticed you remember. I remember when YouTube started promoting shorts, and to me that was all to keep pace with TikTok, because when you look at this generation, the youth, their attention spans are very. I'm just thinking, you guys got to be careful with what you. For those of you that have kids, I would just be careful about how much technology. It's not just a screen time. It's not just screen time. It's all of it. Okay. So let's just go back to computer labs. Let's go back to computer labs, and don't unleash it. Don't unleash it too soon. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Samoan Watchman. Let me make sure I just give everybody a shout out here. Samoan Watchman, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I thank you for your discernment. And yeah, I'm just saying, it's just Charlie. Thank you so much, and Gary G out of BC. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see you guys, and it's nice to have the feedback on this program. It could be an alternative. As I said, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna try to make some changes. Uh, so yeah, the actual recording of this is gonna be, I think, done in a higher quality, but I appreciate it. Charlie says they've even taken, yes, yes, yeah. That's a whole. You're on it right there. You're hot, Charlie. That's it. But there again, that was to me another installation. That was another installation. There's nothing. None of this is just done haphazardly. Oh, let's try this. No, no, no. Easy, easy. Okay. But yes, but I appreciate you guys, and you guys have a great day, a beautiful day, a blessed day, and try to get some rest, and maybe I'll see you back here before too late. Because I think this is a good test, and I'll be able to glean a lot from this test in terms of quality, um, my system and how well it fared, and what, what disruptions I had, and be able to just track how it performed overall, and performed on this system, which is we're gonna replace it. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Have a great rest of your Saturday.